So we're rewriting now from log form back into exponential form. We'll always give you true facts here. If you have all numbers, hopefully you're getting 4 to the negative 2 is equal to 1 over 16. Is that true? Yeah. All right. So it's clear you can do this with numbers. It's nice with numbers because you can check the factual information. Yes? Yeah. But now let's make sure we can do this now with non-numbers, right? Something that are with letters, where you have to rely more on identifying the bases and identifying the exponent, right? So let's do 5 to the x power is equal to 3y. So let's rewrite that into log form. Let's rewrite this into log form. Good. Yep. Identify your base. Identify your exponent. We shouldn't have a number way up there. Right? 5 is your base. X is your exponent. That goes at the end. But that 3y needs to be on the same level as the log. So it should look like this. Log, base is 5, equals x, and then 3y is on the same level as the word log. So we don't want to make that look like an exponent, right? How'd you do? Okay. Very, very important. Okay. There's more practice you can do in the textbook. There's some problems there. Do the odd ones. You can check if you feel like you need more time. More practice. Okay, so here's the next skill. Now notice we haven't touched the calculator yet, have we? We're not really going to touch the calculator too much today, at least not with the log button. Okay, but you are going to be asked to evaluate a log. If it says to evaluate the log, okay, I can't teach if you're not listening. Okay? Because I'm not presenting here. I'm not putting on a show. Teaching actually requires people to learn. If no one's learning, then I'm not really teaching anything. I'm just putting on a show, and I'm not really good at that. I think we all can agree. Okay? So teaching requires people to learn. For you to learn, you have to hear and pay attention. So if it says to evaluate the log, here's what they're really asking you to do. Is to find the exponent. Find the exponent. Remember, the answer to the log is the exponent. So if they're saying to evaluate the log, they're wanting you to find out what happens after the equal sign, which is the exponent. So there might be questions that look like this. Log 125 base 5. They want you to evaluate. So you don't have to rewrite it in exponential form, but you should think about it. Here's your little thought bubble, right? Here's what's going on in your head. You're saying, okay, the base is 5. The exponent is I don't know. But I have to get 125 from it. Now, if you haven't memorized this, if it's not already in your head, then yeah, you can use a calculator to check different numbers. But you're not touching the log button. You couldn't touch it anyway because your calculators only function with logs with base 10 or logs with base E. That's what the natural log, that LN button, that's a log with base E. And then if you just hit the log button, that's a log with base 10. Now, there are a few calculators out there that have logs that you can put in different bases, but I don't want you putting in log 125 with base 5 in any calculator. But if you need to use a calculator to test different exponents to see what the answer is, I'm okay with that for now. But have you guys figured out what the exponent should be? 3. And there's your answer. Most of these you'll be able just to do in your head. All right, let's try another one. How about this one? The base is 2, and we're trying to make it become 1/8 by using an exponent. What kind of an exponent would make the 2 become a 1/8? Why are you saying negative? What would a negative exponent do? It makes it reciprocal, right? Okay. So a negative what? Negative 3. Very good. Yeah. A negative 4 exponent would make this negative, would make it a 1/16. Right? So negative 3 would work here. Everybody see how that works? Okay. Because 2 to the negative 3rd power, negative makes it 1/2. And then to the 3rd power makes it 1/8. How about this one? Thank you. All right, here we have we'll come back to that one in a minute. All right. Base is 27. And this is a 3 here. What can we do to make the 27 base of 27 raised to some power, and the answer is a 3? What exponent does that? Yeah, that's a cube root, isn't it? Yeah. So that's the fractional exponent 1/3. So all of the things we've been learning the last couple chapters about exponent rules, right, are all going to come into play here. Log 4 base 1/2. Let's have something that doesn't have a 3 in the answer, right? Stuck on those 3s. If it's just a 2, it would be 1/4.
Because isn't it what's 1/2?
Because 1/2 needs to flip, doesn't it? It needs to become a 2? So it doesn't have to become a reciprocal? So what type of exponents would make 1/2 become 2? A negative. Negative 2, yeah. So we need to make it reciprocal, so negative, and then we need to raise it to a power of 2. Is this making sense? So whenever it says find the exponent, evaluate the log, what they mean to say is figure out what the exponent's supposed to be. What type of an exponent does that? Okay, how about this one? We'll come over here. Log 1, base 75. No, you're right.
I ain't say nothing. Bro, I ain't say nothing, bro.
This one should be the easiest one, right? Because anything to the 0 power is equal to 1. Don't let that throw you off. What about this? What do you think about a problem like this? Log negative 4 base 2. What do you think? Do you think there's an answer to that? Is it possible for us ever to raise 2 to a power and get negative 4? Can we raise 2 to some power and get a negative? Lauren, you keep saying yes with all kinds of confidence. Wait, hold on. We have a very, very wise statement coming up from up here. What? Say it again. Negative exponents do not make anything negative, so that's you can't get negative exponents or negative answers that way. What about fractional exponents? Do they make anything negative? No, they just make roots. Lauren, you keep saying yes, so tell me why. Tell me how we could ever get a negative answer. Well then, if you don't know, why you keep saying yes? I mean, be confident about your answers. I appreciate your confidence, but have something to back it up. Is it possible? Nah, it's not possible. Not possible. I just wanted to test your understanding and see if you could catch that. You guys did a good job for the most part. Okay? It's impossible to ever take a number and raise it to a power and get an answer that's negative. That's impossible. Remember that whole idea of an asymptote? It never crosses over, does it? Nope. All right. So the work today that I wanted us to do in class is not something I'm going to collect as long as everybody works in class. If people don't work in class, then we have to make things become homework. So hopefully everybody works in class. So we're going to be on page, I think it's 490. Page 490, we're going to look at problems 24 to 35, where we're evaluating. Now listen, problem 33 is screwy. It doesn't belong there. So don't do problem 33. I think they misplaced that particular question. It belongs in a different section. And that comes from a property we're going to learn tomorrow, if there's time after the quiz. Or we'll do it on Wednesday, okay? So don't do number 33 because that's misplaced. Okay? So as long as you're working in class today, you will not have homework. If you choose not to work in class today, then it will become homework. So you decide how you want to play this. That's up to you.